so it begins.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the Michael Butler Quarantine Show from Quarantine Studios, a.k.a. Still the Butz Show, still alive, baby. And guess what? Joining me today on the phone lines, of course, we have D-Vibes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, y'all. And very special guest joining us today, my good friend, Adan Smirnoff from the band Lettuce. Welcome back to the Butz Show, my friend.
Hey, everybody, and I'm going to start this return to the Butz Show quarantine editions with the big fat bong hit.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah, see,
Lighting you up.
quarantine behavior approved bong hits. Yeah, here's some more theme music for your rip. I mean, you can't really hear it, but I'll put it on the mic. Maybe you'll hear it now.
I did it already. It's over.
Oh, word up. Welcome back, Schmeens.
Yeah.
I mean, things
Thank
are crazy in the world today. As I'm walking into the studio today to get ready for the show, we just got the announcement that they locked down all of California. They started with San Francisco maybe a couple days ago. California, who knows who's next? I don't know if I'm going to be able to come into the studio tomorrow. This might be the last quarantine show. I think the truth is every time I get in here, there's just no way of knowing if I'm going to get to do this again. So I just keep doing it. I'm just going to keep doing it, brother, until they pull me out of here. Well, not actually. If they declare that I have to go home, I'm going home. Coming home, Mom. Sorry. I want to be with my family stronghold if they do that to us. But anyway, welcome. Yesterday we did a good thing, I feel, by like taking people's mind off things. But today we're just gonna, talk about how lives are affected, because I don't think the message is going around enough. I honestly think that I'm surprised that I get the feeling that more Americans are not taking this situation as serious as they should than the people who are taking it serious enough. That is my guess, Mr. Schmeens. What do you think of this? Do you agree? Are you there?
Sorry, I lost you for half a second. People who are not taking it seriously enough is the last thing I heard.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if, I'm getting the impression that not enough people are taking this seriously, and that's why this type of lockdown measure is really actually becoming necessary.
Ah, man, it's complicated, I mean, for a month before this, we had a leader who was saying that this will be gone by April, and it's a Democratic hoax, and there's still a lot of people who don't pay attention who might have just heard that part of it, and then they were just like, "Well, I don't believe anything anyone says,
yeah,
and I'm just going to do what I want to do." And that's a prevailing attitude of a lot of people nowadays. I don't believe what anyone says, and I'm just going to do what I want to do. And guess what? It has consequences.
Yeah, I honestly believe that that initial reaction was a cue to a large portion of Americans that no matter what anyone says at this point, they're just like, it's a hoax. Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do live in an era where there is a lot of misinformation out there, misinformation on purpose out there from foreign nations who are trying to see America crumble.
There's
You
that.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen. We're not going to crumble. We're all going to come together. We're all deep down. We're all rooted in the same ideals of that we love each other and that we should help each other. And I really believe that. I believe that deep down we're all good people and we want to help our fellow man. And there might be a small population that's not like that, but I don't believe that the majority. I believe the majority would like to see themselves healthy and happy, and would like to see their neighbor and their fellow human healthy and happy as well.
Amen, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're all working towards. I mean, hey, Vibes, how you doing out there? How goes? How's day? This is the third day that we've gotten together to do this, and
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, are you 3 days deep on whatever track it was you started with, or like you just was today a whole new thing?
Man, I've been like going through tracks like crazy, man. I've had like a lot of time to go through, finish some old tracks. I started 3 new tracks between today and yesterday. Just like some ideas, like really getting them solid, like super funky.
That's great.
Super funky, man. But I'm actually enjoying this time of just like, I get to just shed and not have to worry about anything for a little bit, like
Things are
just
getting
stay home,
things are getting
Be
real
healthy.
for me. I mean, today I was behind my door and outside my door, which is near the entryway to the building. Someone belly sneezed just like right outside my door. And like I know things are about to get crazy in this country because I was ready to go out there, except and do something about that. Like, are you kidding me? But like honestly, like that's what's going to lead to the breakdown of society is everyone turning on their brother over like bad hygiene. But that's what it's coming to. It's like, and I could hear the guy outside my door sneezing and like sort of like saying, "Oh God," like he knows he knew he did something terrible. Didn't know he's being listened to, but he was like, he just sneezed all over the entryway to a building, and I was just like, I just wanted to like, I don't know, it filled me with
Go hide under your covers, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do.
That's what we're all reduced to right now. Like, go hide under your covers.
Look at this. I'm going to show
the Rona.
I want to show the people at home that I take like wipes and. Hand sanitizer everywhere I go. Right at my desk, there's actually some toilet paper here. I don't need it, but it's just here for like moral support.
Okay, now let's say like you haven't left the house in like a week, and no one has really left the house in a week. And if they have, every time they've entered or left, you've made them wash completely. I wash my hands all the time. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, but I'm just wondering, like, in your house, if you never leave, is it necessary? What if I touch my face? Am I allowed to touch my face more in my house?
I don't know, dude.
Definitely in your house, you're allowed to like do more things in your house because like,
Well, yeah.
It's like you having your own germs in your house is different between like you like coming out.
Is
like,
it?
Well, yeah,
Like,
right. Especially,
like,
yeah.
someone
If
that
people
hasn't
don't
washed
show
their
symptoms.
hands,
D Vibes,
like,
I got
you-
news for you. I got news for you, D Vibes.
Yeah.
Some news in Boston is that Boston Celtics player Marcus Smart tested positive for the COVID-19, and basically he's not showing any symptoms, but he was like exposed. He was potentially exposed to it, so he got a test. And guess what? So, like, we don't know who's showing symptoms. We don't know nothing. All we know, and it's like, if I get, I don't know. I'm just trying to tell you, like, we don't know what's going on that way. The bottom line.
I just read it could live in the air for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Right. Everyone's saying it's not
Which
airborne.
means that
we don't
if
know
anyone ever like went to like the supermarket and you go there and you breathe that air, what happens then? It's like, we're all going to get this. I think that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like we're all going to get this.
Yeah, it's not insane to think that like everyone is exposed to it. It's a question of like who's gonna, who catches the disease. It's like we're always exposed to all the diseases in the air and around us, and we walk through that landscape, almost like every day, as the axiom says, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, like I feel no pain, but that doesn't mean that you aren't like getting like messed with by an occasional virus here and all that. But like they're around. It's just
I'm taking bong hit over and over and over again while I'm talking to you.
That's good.
It's the only way I could kind of like deal with my anxiety that I have.
Well, let's
this.
change
and you know
gears.
what? I think it's fun to admit and healthy to admit.
Yeah.
And very human for us to admit. Damn, I got some.
We're doing
anxiety about this stuff, brother.
Yeah, we're doing nobody a service if by not taking things seriously. Even like when I make jokes, I feel the need to disclaim them, and just be like, yes, by the way, I'm not suggesting that this is a laughing matter, to say that I've been really enjoying my quarantine because, I have like the company of my friend John Lammy over here. And we're spending quality time. We're doing things. We were writing tracks last night. It's like this is.
Yeah, and you got Babylon 5 when you need it.
I got that. He knows me.
There.
People. Yeah, he knows me. So Schmeens, one of the reasons why, you're always welcome on the show, and I think I was on Crespo's show today, and he's like, if you talk to those guys, what are you talking about if not fantasy basketball? And I'm like, well, we're not going to talk about fantasy basketball anymore. So, but I am interested to know, like, we've only talked about it to a small degree, but like, Lettuce was just on tour, their first major European tour. And what an experience! I want to hear some of the positives, about that, and of course, like how it came right up against the deadline to get back into the country, and that's all very interesting to me. But I really want to know about the tour. Let's talk about the tour first. What was it like getting over there?
Let's just say that, like it was an extremely successful open the door to Europe tour, and that door has been kicked open.
Nice.
And the response from the people who were like, man, we've been waiting 10 years to see you guys, and singing the melodies, and it was just, man, it was better than we could have ever really imagined, and the promoters were really stoked, and even the shows we had to cancel in Italy, like those were like about to be sold out, and and then it got deep. Then it got to probably like maybe one of the most fearful moments I've ever had in my entire life, where I'm watching Trump give this speech at 2 a.m. after we just played Copenhagen, and we're not supposed to come home for another 3 days. And he's talking about, closing the flights from Europe. And
he misspoke. Yeah, right. He misspoke when he gave that speech, saying no one was coming in. Period. Not.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So whatever. It was scary enough to.
It's very scary
to make us just get on the next flight out of there, and I was on my way. We right after the speech was done by 2:30, I was on my way to the airport by 3:30 in the morning, getting on a 6 a.m. flight home. And I'm so glad we did it, because then our flights that we would have taken 3 days later were canceled.
Unbelievable.
By Delta, and we wouldn't have gotten home. It was rebooked for 3 months later or something like that, something crazy. But look, I am home, I'm healthy, I'm with my family. We're gonna get through this. Music will happen again. I just got to keep that positive outlook that this is a nice pause. I get to spend a lot of time with my kid while my wife works downstairs. I've been doing daddy daycare, hanging upstairs, and there it is. That's what it is for right now.
And I guess that's the best thing is that this is the type of situation where the answer is spending time with your family and being with them, and that is it's horrible that there has to be a circumstance that leads to something like that, but that you can do that is really special, and you really just have to. It's an opportunity to just grow the love that's necessary to lead us through this situation. Just sort of hang on to it, but. I don't know. Here we are. We're moving forward. Like we don't know what to expect coming up the next couple days. I honestly do feel that things are about to change dramatically. Everyone's saying, "Oh, wow, they've changed already," but things are really about to change, and no one can really understand where that's heading. So, the most important thing to do is breathe, be careful. Breathe carefully. That's another thing. But you make sure that you stay calm and don't like take it out on your fellow man. That's a word. It's going to be very easy to be very fearful of others and just try to not come into contact. That's the mission. But like I said, I did not snap on the person who sneezed outside my door, even though I wanted to. So that's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing right now, like. F what America tells you. You don't need the shiny new things anymore, the newest, shiniest, newest gadget and stuff to come out. We don't need any of that anymore. Spend your money on food, weed, and wine or alcohol, whatever you do, and that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's all we have to do. All of us just, get in your comfortable spot. Throw on that movie and smoke a little weed, drink a little wine, and then wake up in the morning and do a little exercise, read some stuff with your kids or read a book, try and do whatever it is that gets your inner self going and make it through the day and wind down and have fun, man. Try and make the best out of it.
That's right. That's the whole thing is that we're going to be here for a little while, folks. And I don't mean to scare you by that. I'm just meaning to, help you accept it. If it comes, when it comes, we're going to be here for a while. And I've been saying, get creative with your quarantine. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. It's like for the time being, I'm here. I have access to a music studio, and I'm doing this podcast. It'll be like a Facebook Live video for my phone. It won't be nearly as fancy as this if we go into a full lockdown here. But for the time being, I'm having fun here. Like I was up all morning. I wonder if we can. I'm going to show the. I'm going to grab this camera here. Sometimes it gets all janky, but this little Rhodes over here. This is a really good story. Okay, this is a very rare 54 key Rhodes. Okay, it's very special. And one day I was in Boston's Mr. Music shop. Oh yeah, that's my guitar right there. That's right. It's cool. I was in, here we are. Okay, I'm back. I was in Mr. Music, which is on, it's a local Alston industry musicians, music shop in the middle of a place where there are a lot of musicians. And it's a cool little shop, and they had this, and I was so, taken by it for some reason. It's just, well, obviously it's a Rhodes, and we all love Rhodes, but the little guy, it was just, I liked him because he, it was just the nuts and bolts, like the keys, like the octaves you need to lace the right part in the right register. And it's actually, you can move it if you want to because it's not so heavy. But yet, it fits into a studio really nicely because, hey, if I need real Rhodes, I got a real Rhodes in the corner. It's not getting in anyone's way. It's just right there if you need it. And I really wanted it. I sent a picture to D-Vibes. I sent a picture to Nigel. And it was just something I couldn't afford at the time, and that's pretty much always. And that was the deal. And, to come to find out, when I came up here a few weeks ago for the first time, I'm like, there it is. And last night I'm playing it. It was just like, it's just been so cool. Like there's something special that's going on in the middle of all of this madness. Is like music and the opportunity to rediscover things like writing songs and really challenge yourself to make a piece of music that might be able to soothe some people's spirits in this challenging time. We're going to have to add every little piece of our own puzzle, of ourselves to the puzzle that makes this work. And who knows what you do, right, Vibes?
Yeah, man. It's just we all just have to listen, man. And I know as hard as it is, this is not time to be throwing kickbacks. And it's the clubs are closed. Let's party at the house. Like, I love hanging out with everybody. I love everybody. But right now we gotta take precautions until this thing just passes over. It will pass over, but we gotta take precautions. Like. Over in China and South Korea, like they're just now starting to get back to everyday life,
Yeah, and that's encouraging.
But yo, let's just do it. You know, take the time. You know, only go out when you need to. You know, it's just not time for kickback. I don't need to be like, you know, like, all right, I'll see you guys soon. We will have the epic hang. Like,
without question,
will be bigger than WrestleMania.
And everyone's gonna have their own way of working through this, and their own answer and their own suggestions of what you should be doing to get through it. And you know, everyone's gonna be right and everyone's gonna be wrong, and everyone's gonna just be trying to figure out, you know, reaffirm what they think they should be doing. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, if you hear someone be like, yeah, you know, everyone should be at home writing new music, it's probably because that person feels like they should be at home writing new music, you know?
Yeah.
Like me.
Well, you know, I'm fun. You know, in the middle of all this, like, you know, my comic mind is always spinning, and it's like, I'm thinking to myself, I finally discovered, you know, I wish that my quarantine show can like continue for at least another couple of days, because I think I figured out my first sound drop, my quarantine edition sound drop, is I want like Francis K. Sawyer from Stripes, also known as Psycho. I want that sound drop. If any of y'all touch me, I'll kill you. Because that's basically what it's come to, is like, you know, everything is cool and we're gonna have a good time, but just keep your meat hooks off. You know, like, don't touch me. You know what I mean? That's the weird thing that's going on right now. It's just like, you know, I have a lot of love, and it's so unusual that like I'm seeing people, and they're like, even still in the building, it's like, yo, Butz, like, yo, and then someone comes up to give me a hug. I'm like, what, are you crazy? It's like, I love you, I love you, but what are you, crazy? Like, I don't know. Like, am I crazy? Am I like, because I've also been, you know, accused of playing into the paranoia of all this. Like, oh my God, like I'm watching the news and I'm informed on the subject, and that's a problem.
No, being informed is not like the issue.
Yeah,
you know, it's.
Well, it's staying chill about it. You know, I'm not trying. I mean, I'll work up the cadence of the fervor of this discussion.
Don't stay chill about it. No, stay paranoid about it.
Fair.
I mean, be the safest you could be. You know, that's what you have to do to protect your loved one. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why I'm talking right now to the people. I want to make sure that they understand that, like, you know, have a blast in your quarantine, but quarantine the fuck out. You know, I'm sorry, pardon my French. It's time.
We're serious about this. This is serious. This is serious stuff right here. We feel serious about it because we feel very serious about our loved ones and our need to protect them.
Yeah, and you know, it's like we make jokes. It's not a joke if it's like, hey, you know, it'd be nice to. No, it's not a joke. It's like it'd be nice to be like quarantined in with some instruments and all that. But if you don't have one, you know what I mean? Maybe you know, get a curbside delivery from Amazon and learn how to play, or do something.
But humor gets us through hard times, and
it's a balance.
I think, you know, that is very important, so people don't get mad at the humor, because we're just trying to laugh our way through our tears and our anxiety and our own problems. And it's sometimes the healthiest thing we can do, you know?
Yeah, because, you know, I know that, like, for example, I want to talk about the fact that, like, Lettuce has a new video out and a new album coming out and all of that. Like, there's a video for Checker Wrecker.
Well, you can't stop the music. That's not going to stop.
I'm talking about it.
Doing our thing.
I'm talking about it because, like, if you look closely in, like, a couple frames, like, I'm in that video, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, like, hey, man, congratulations on all that. I'm in that video. That was the night of the Grammy cake. You guys were nominated for a Grammy, and that's huge news, and we're all so proud of you. And that was part. You can see the celebration of, like, you know, Lettuce celebrating with their team, essentially. And I was lucky to be there that night, celebrating with this beautiful Grammy cake. And that's all in the video for Checker Wrecker, which is, you know, you can find on YouTube or any platform. Just Google it. Video. Lettuce new video.
Go to YouTube and watch the vid. And it was featuring Big Tony, Trouble Funk, bass player, lead singer,
and it's a real honor to, have him. And he's definitely like been one of my heroes for a long time. So I was really feeling that.
Get it out. Oh, it's not. That's not part of the stream. That doesn't. Okay. Never mind. Oh my God. Sorry about that. I'm getting so confused. People are like sending me things, and I have a viewing screen here, and like I don't even know. I thought for a second like this like Motley Crue meme went out over the.
Hey, I'm taking another bong hit, everybody.
Yes.
Cheers, everybody
I
out
am
there.
jealous.
If you're out there in your own spot, and take a quarantine bong hit, quarantine dab, whatever you got to do out there. Take a sip of wine, whatever. Here you go.
All
3,
right.
2, 1.
All right, I'm doing it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is like what it's
Yeah,
got to be.
do it.
I need one just as bad as anyone else. It's been a tough day, okay? All right.
I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So, but how often in my life have, like, in the past 20 years, you seen me drunk?
Oh, like never, dude.
Never. Guess what?
It's been like 10
This
years.
is this shit has driven me to fucking drinking, bro. I got
People are taking up
drunk
new hobbies.
as hell past 2 nights drinking wine with my wife. Hello.
Hello. So what?
No,
what
I got
is it?
drunk for real.
Hey, let's plug.
awesome.
Let's plug the Shady Horns wine business. Like I'm sure they're
Yeah,
counseling
that's
you,
a great. Well, it's their influence.
right? That. Oh yeah. Well,
I
why
got
not?
drunk with them in Europe, and I was like, well, I got to bring this home to.
Yeah, like if you're gonna.
to the
Yeah,
wife.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what the
You get
deal
it.
is. Right. Most. Yeah. It's a thing, you know what I mean? Like people get married, they didn't drink wine before they get married, but when they get married, them and it's like the wife and it's like having a glass of wine with the wife is a real thing in this world, and that makes sense to me. I'm just so happy for all of those things. I'm happy for the human spirit that comes through, when put to the test, and the way all these stories, like if people in the comments. Right now, if you want to share stories with me, I'm happy to reference them. Of things that you think are like singularly neat, essentially, that you've done at home to sort of shake things up during quarantine season. Because people need ideas. Like, honestly, like, I'm not making this up. L.A. has been put on lockdown. I haven't even had a chance to read into what that meant. I just know that it's happened. I know that it must be terribly frightening for anyone out in California right now, because who even knows what's going on out there, and it's very hard to take things lightly when my thoughts are really
I took it all out on the boxes in my garage, Butz.
I saw that.
I got the alert that extra trash day was coming, and I woke up that morning and I was like, you know what? I can get this done before they come. And I was like, I went through a mountain of just boxes. Boxes are like an epidemic nowadays with all the Amazoning and stuff. You get a box if you got like a room to throw them in. You're like, let me just throw the box in here. And the next thing you know, you're on tour for a month. Everyone's gone. Everyone throws boxes here and there. Some people are staying at your crib. They throw boxes. You have a mountain of boxes.
Even more
then
boxes.
I came out here and I broke down all the boxes and I got them out for extra trash day. And I thought that was very cleansing.
Yeah,
and,
see, this is funny. Schmeens definitely does this. He'll call me up and he'll be like, "Guess what I did today?" He's like, I mowed the lawn.
Yes, it's the greatest feeling.
And then he
in the
walks
world,
me
too.
outside and then shows me like the clean edges, and I'm like, bro,
Yes,
nice.
It's like a barber because I don't have hair. So because I don't have hair, I kind of like, I feel the edges of my lawn are kind of like.
Let me just say, I have to cut in right there. Because like first of all, that's why I grew the beard. And speaking of the beard, It's got to go, and like you're way ahead of everyone.
Gotta go.
You're way ahead of everyone on this. Like the guy that I want to hang out the most with, probably you, because you're free of all of this nasty hair. It's like shoot, because
less for the corona to grab onto.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah. So anyway, as far as
it's rarely been an advantage in my life, but I'll take it when I can.
Take it. I feel like we're all evolving that direction anyway. So like you're just ahead of schedule. But we're jealous now. Like I swear to God, like I and this is crazy. Like we're walking into a new culture. Like the thing that brought it home for me today was that and I'll put this out there. Like I because I'm proud of my niece. Like she is a brilliant young lady, and she reads books, and she's like getting ready for high school. And she reads dystopian novels, and I'm telling her like now is a good time to like write about your feelings and what's going on here, and maybe like the current conditions. You can see the stories that can be told that we need to hear about this. And then I thought that was good advice, to be like, as a writer, as an aspiring writer, like, this is the time to really start expressing yourself with like, what you're feeling right now. There's something happening that we're all trying to understand. And I thought that was good advice. And yet, as I was like, a few hours later, it came back at me. Like, I can't believe like I just advised my niece to like incorporate, this global epidemic into her life. Like I just like the fact of what she has to deal with that I didn't have to deal with at her age. Like just, we all want to protect our loved ones. That's the most strong thing that we experience. And the wave of that emotion, like just kind of like hit me when I wasn't expecting it. Like I just feel so sad, not just for her, but for everyone, and everyone has to deal with this more than we're doing. I mean, I know that everyone in my family has gone very far to do all that we can to keep each other safe. And, I don't know. So so far I have not seen my parents, but you know what I mean? If Massachusetts is getting a shutdown, like, I'm thinking, we all should probably be together, and maybe I can help out over there. And of course, like, what am I going to do? Shave the beard? Because I would like to wear a mask around them.
Yeah, you gotta shave the beard, bro.
You see this, guys? Look really closely at this beard, okay? Because I'm afraid I'm gonna have to shave it, and like I don't really want to. Like I didn't know when I grew a beard what it was gonna mean to me. I thought it was just like something I was gonna do, like like growing dreads. It was just gonna mark the seasons. It was just like an undertaking. Eventually I'll shave it and grow another one. But as it came in, like I'm really quite fond of it, and especially while it's like gray in this place right here. Like when I feel like when I'm gonna shave it back, the whole thing's gonna be gray. Like who knows? Like not to say that you don't look great, Lammy, because your beautiful white beard is beautiful. And I'm gonna look good no matter what. It's kind of cool at this age. Like we get these like different shadings. It's like part of our bodies, like little parts of our bodies are getting old, but some of the other parts of the body are resisting. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of like what being in your 40s is like. If you ask me. I don't know, dude. I just want everyone to know, thank you for tuning in. Like, my plan is to go an hour. I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm glad Schmeens is here. That's Adan Smirnoff from Lettuce. I got D Vibes.
Oh, yeah. We out here.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we out here. Sorry, I'm getting confused, but this is all like yeah, what's up, Vibes?
I just keep seeing Tom Brady on the front.
I can count on you, Vibes, to keep it real. Yeah, Tom Brady is no longer a New England Patriot. It's like wait, can I just vent on this for a second? In the middle of like a global epidemic where the world has slowed down and news has slowed down to a grinding halt, there is but one other news story for us people in New England, for anyone around. There's one news story out there that is not coronavirus related, and it happens to be Tom Brady leaving the New England Football Patriots. It's like, what? It's like we didn't have any sort of, there's supposed to be something to take our minds off it, and that one thing is like maybe like something that's on par with the coronavirus for a New Englander. At least for a lot of New Englanders are probably too many of them are more upset about Tom Brady right now than the virus. But I would think that
whenever football season starts, if they have football season,
sure,
like, that's going to be a lot of matches that you're definitely going to lose.
Oh yeah, you really think so? I don't think so, D-Vibes. In fact, what's your football team? You want to say the Falcons? Do you just want to like bet me $10 right now that the Patriots have a better record than the Falcons? Because I'll do it.
Oh boy!
In front of the world. In front of the world, I'll just do that because I don't need to know who's on my team. I don't need to know who's on my team. I don't care who they get to quarterback it. I don't care who's throwing the ball. I don't care who's catching the ball because we got Bill Belichick coaching the ball. If he decides that he's going to hang it up all of a sudden after, I don't want to, maybe he's a secret germaphobe and he's never leaving his apartment again after this. Well, then that's a different story. I take back my bet. But as long as Bill Belichick is coaching the team, then I'm okay going forward. Give me another 10 with the goat of coaches.
Speaking of New England sports,
we still got one goat.
I'm not a big football guy.
Sure.
But speaking of New England sports, Marcus Smart tested positive today.
Yeah,
that we read, right? That makes a lot of NBA players at this point, right? Starting with Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and Christian Wood, and Kevin Durant, and Marcus Smart, and wow.
Yeah, I mean, people are wondering about what that's all about. Like, why all these NBA players, and maybe because they exposed each other, but honestly, it's because everyone is affected, and we know these names, and they're getting tests because the NBA is giving them tests, and because they're the ones getting tests, we're finding out about them. But it's like the percentages are going to hold up. Like, to be real with you all, like, they put California under lockdown, but a couple hours earlier, I couldn't believe the math I was hearing. I was watching the CNN town hall, and they were talking about how the governor of California believed that in 2 weeks' time, at least 60% of his state, I believe was the number, will be infected with this virus. So that's some sobering math. Okay, if you don't think that this is going to affect, like, this affects everybody, and we're, it's just like, a few people are going to be unlucky, they're going to catch this thing, but I think we've all, like, almost caught it already. We just can't be tested for it. So, like, we don't know. We're not going to be tested for it. It's just the way it is. There's numbers out there that you're not getting, and that's basically what's happening. So when NBA athletes are turning up, sure, I don't think it's for any other reason than they're just like you and me, and they're a part of this, and we're all going to be coming up sooner or later. I mean, sorry, but that's just something that that's why we're being asked to stay home, so we can slow down the spread. And maybe my hope is always that I don't know if there's any real science to this specific virus when it comes to like the flu season ending. Maybe the season ends for this and gives us a couple months off to brace ourselves for its return, and maybe we can beat it down. But in the interim, the only thing that makes sense is to keep to yourselves, folks, and let's slow it down to a grinding halt as best we can.
Sure hope so. Well, on that note, Butz, I'm gonna go back to the family. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yo, I appreciate it too, man, and I love you very much. And stay safe there. Give my love to the fam, and I'll be in touch. And who knows? If we have another show, I'll have you back. We can just talk about what's in the news, and we'll just keep. We don't have to think about it in grand terms because we're still coming to terms with it. We can just take it one day at a time.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks again, Schmeens.
Peace.
Schmeens, you're the man. Love you.
You're the man, vibes. Later, y'all.
All right. I was Adam Schmeens Smirnoff, a.k.a. Dr. Schmigglesworth. What up, vibes?
Yeah, bro.
Still here with you.
What up, man? Hanging loose on the rubber band. Stretching out.
Yeah. Yeah, now I can look over at the comments. I see, a few people shouts out to Curly Vin, Casey, B. Sayers, Abalong Gazarich. What do you know? What do you say? And I see Johnny Durkins there. Hey, we're all really glad that, Let made it back. I mean, that was really something. I didn't want to make too big a deal out of it because, it's doom and gloom radio. But, it's true. It's like, these guys, for a second there, the president said, while my best friends are overseas, yeah, we're not letting anyone back in. We're shutting down travel with Europe. And but somebody had to actually come out and say, wait, it's actually like Americans can come home, but not everybody else. But they didn't know. If you heard that speech, you really didn't know that, and that was and that's part of the leadership issue. But that is like just but one piece of a grand case that can be put. But you know what? We've seen what these cases do against this president is nothing. So let's not get too riled up about the Donald. I mean, when it comes to Donald Trump, everyone, if you want me to say anything about it, I'll leave it here. The chance to do something about Donald Trump, if it goes on as scheduled, which you never know. I mean, I think what they put off the Ohio primary, but hey, look, I think everything's going to go on schedule. You have a chance to do something about it in November. Vote him out, and I don't, and then of course. There's Joe Biden. I know you don't like Joe. Okay, we know you don't like Joe.
Oh,
I don't like Joe.
Joe's cool, man.
Not only do I not like Joe, I love Bernie. Okay, but as someone who loves Bernie, I love Bernie. I love Bernie because Bernie is honest. I know I'm on a rant here. Okay, it's not that I don't love Bernie. I don't like Joe, but I respect Joe, and he might be a ghost of a former Joe. But he's still Joe, and he's still someone that, knows how to drive the car. It's like Donald Trump never knew how to drive the car, and y'all, let him drive. And, he crashed into a tree, and here we are. So, what did you think was going to happen? At least this guy knows how to drive. It's like Uncle Joe, he's losing it. You're still a little bit, but at least he drives slow. And he's going to get you from point A to point B. You don't like driving with your crazy uncle, your crazy Uncle Joe, but you're definitely not getting in the Trump with your crazy Uncle Donald.
Well,
Sorry, get in the car. Get in the Trump. You're not getting in the Trump. Say what?
He's not your average Joe.
Yeah, right. He's not your average Joe. That's absolutely correct. So, yeah, I mean, Vibes, I guess now, before I get out of here, I'm going to do a quick check of the news. I'm glad everyone is stuck around. It was a real treat to talk to Schmeens and get his perspective on things. But, before I get out of here, I'm just going to do a quick little look in, see what the latest is. Of course, Marcus Smart has tested positive for the coronavirus. Marcus is the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics. It hits close to home for me because, the Boston Celtics practice facility is literally close to home. So, I've known that since they played the Jazz, there was a real chance that, they were all clearly infected from that experience. It would seem that would be likely anyway, that if it was likely, then it had likely come, to my block, whether or not, that's going to make it to me or not, it doesn't really matter. I don't care. I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to limit my contact. I walk around. I touch everything with the wipe.
There you go.
I mean, okay, I've sanitized everything in my space right now, okay? But, when I'm out of my space, I'm taking these, I found these at the dollar store, okay? These are automotive wipes, but they got the same alcohol and everything else. They got all kinds of toxic chemicals in them. I love them, okay? I grabbed a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? And I just been grabbing door handles with them. I wouldn't let Lammy touch anything. You know what I mean? I was just here. Let me do that. Let me wipe that down first.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, getting back, I see a couple comments. Yeah. We all know that Joe, I won't say what, not brain damage, but maybe cognitive decay, some sort of diminished, what is it, degenerative, dementia. Everyone throws that D word around. I find it really crazy. It's nothing new, but we all know that it's between the two guys that are left to decide between, to lead us forward. It's they're both showing signs of dementia. We're not fools. We all have eyes.
I mean,
we can see that these guys are a little bit, as Tony Soprano would say, ubats. They're a little bit off. They're a little off. but it's okay, Vibes. Anyway, to the funk of it, maybe let's go. Okay, here we go. Let's get into this. Sorry, I was going to change the subjects, but like all my information just pulled up. So let's get into this lockdown. California governor orders 40 million California people to lock down. And that's what it is. Governor Newsom tells residents to stay home after projecting 56% will be infected within 8 weeks. That's what it is. They predict within 8 weeks, 56% of California will be affected by this. Let's see. So, yeah. All that they're, there's only thing anyone's ever saying is stay in place, stay home. I guess the only advice I can give to the people watching here, if there's a civic duty that I can do in some way, is do what you can to provide some sanity for yourself at home, like the things that you might need in the outside world to keep you, where you like to be. How you like to feel, how you need to feel to get through. It's not, you're not going to find it out there. So you're going to have to find a way to create the feeling of freedom inside your house, or else it'll be hard for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to find a way. Now me, you're right. We make jokes about it. It's kind of true. Like, I like to stay home and watch TV. But, probably too much. But it's serving me right now. But, I know that when I have only that to do, it's going to hurt me because, like, right now I've had this as a release. This show has been an amazing release. I mean, I know, and I keep telling John that when we're over here hacking away at these programs, trying to get them to work right, and all these little, buckles and everything that's that goes wrong here and there, we're thankful for each and every one of them because all of these puzzles is something for us to do that keeps us from going straight up stir crazy. You know what I mean? It's like when we can't do what we're doing right now, it's really going to set in. I don't know about you, bro, but like if I don't have to, if I don't get to come up here and do this thing, like in the next few days, I'm going to be feeling it at home. What are you saying, Vibes?
Yeah, I feel you, man. But you may be able to do that from the house. There's a way, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to take my own advice and like tap into the money that like none of us have because like no one's doing nothing for money right now. And like, get like a proper internet microphone just to plug into my computer or something just so I can do a quality live stream. I don't know what's going to happen, but it'll probably be just me on my phone, or like I might be able to use a computer and then I'll have you call in and take your live audio off the speakerphone. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple apps that you might be able to do it from too, man. But we'll be able to keep it going, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a way. You know what I mean? Maybe I can
be creative.
Maybe I can like the Borg. I'll like go over to my folks' house and like assimilate my dad's tech and all his old tech like lying around. Like I'll just sort of like, put a couple old laptops to work and we'll, fuse them together. I'll find some sort of system. I'll do what I can, and maybe even Lammy and me will like sneak over here in the middle of a quarantine once or twice. Yeah, he shrugged his shoulders. He seems to be like at least open to the idea. We're both pretty irreverent people, and like when the world tells us like to do one thing, we'll generally probably do the other. At least like just like off to the side where no one's looking, just to say up yours, world. So like. Yeah, this would be like the perfect opportunity to express that sort of irreverence and just sort of sneak over here.
But I mean, the lockdown in California it's just telling people they can still leave their house, to go for necessities, but just don't be out hanging out,
Well, okay. So let's, it says this. Yeah, it says under the order, essential services such as gas stations, pharmacies, grocery stores, farmers markets, food banks, convenience stores, and delivery restaurants will remain open. So will local banks, local government offices that provide programs and services, and law enforcement agencies. Non-essential services such as dine-in restaurants, we're already there. Okay, we're here in Boston, but dine-in restaurants, this is for the people who this hasn't happened to, I guess. Maybe over there, not everything was like that, but such as dining restaurants, bars, gyms, convention centers will shut down. let's see. We project that roughly 56%, 25 million people will be infected over an 8-week period. That's basically it. Go about the essential patterns of life, but do so by socially distancing themselves by others and do so using common sense. Home isolation is not my preferred choice, but it is a necessary one. This is not a permanent state. It is a moment in time, he said. I don't believe the people, this is Governor Newsom, I don't believe the people of California need to be told through law enforcement that it's appropriate just to stay home, isolate, protect themselves. We are confident that the people of the state of California will abide by it and do the right thing. Well, who knows? To be perfectly honest, who knows? This is a bridge we haven't crossed before. My faith in like every individual human being's hot take that they will do the right thing, that their hot take and their instinct is to do the right thing, I say flip a coin. The reality is like when you spread humanity out, it's kind of like, the chips fall on both sides fairly evenly. And a lot of people are going to do the right thing here, and a lot of people aren't going to do the right thing. And maybe, it's true that when challenged, our country generally comes together, and I hope that happens here. I hope people start like coming together to educate the people about how we're going to beat this thing. We're going to beat this thing by everyone really committing to the idea that we need to stay home to protect each other, to get these numbers down, so that we have a chance to combat this illness. So that's kind of that. Yeah. My thoughts are with the people of California. And
man, me too.
Yeah, I think that might be it for tonight, because like I could stay here and do this, but like it's basically built on agita out of the fact that like I might not be able to come back tomorrow. So I don't. I'm going to treat this like it's just another day. I'm going to think that they haven't announced anything like this in Boston yet. So, as far as I know, me and Lammy are going to hang out for a little while after this, make some music, and we're just going to have some fun tonight. And I hope everyone enjoys their quarantine. This is me playing my outro music. And, this is wow. See, okay, so let me do that again. All right, I like starting over my outro music because it wasn't really loud enough in the beginning. Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of the road here for the Michael Butler Quarantine Edition show from Quarantine Studios, plural. What a ride. I'm not saying this is like so far, if this is the only shows that we do, it'll be like a trilogy. The best things come in a trilogy. But, every now and again, some of those trilogies have a fourth edition. Like Indiana Jones, everyone thought it was a trilogy. And then all of a sudden, before you knew it, there was the Crystal Skull. Okay? And, shout out to Dave Crespo. I was talking about the Crystal Skull on his radio program. He's been out there broadcasting all day, okay? So, Spo. Look up Spo, Dave Crespo, from WEMF Radio. I got a lot to say, folks, and I just wish, I guess there's time I could keep going, but I'd rather save it till next time. I want to believe that next time is just around the corner. So till they tell me I can't be here, I'm going to be here. So I'm going to log in tomorrow at some point. We'll let you know what's going on. But stay safe out there. Have fun in quarantine. Do your best. Really get silly. You can do it. You're crazy enough right now, so go with it. Have fun. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
D-Vibes, I love you. Work on those tracks. If we do another show, I'm going to want to hear them. That's a promise.
Oh, I got you, man. The world is ready.
All right.
It's about time.
Well, thanks for tuning in. And, peace be with you.
On the one.